Good day, everyone. Welcome to 360 Live. I am on holiday, finally. I'm kidding. It's very early to go on holiday. I know. Don't give me too much trouble. But the kids' schools are closed. What must a man do? So my wife and I decided we're going to pack our bags and go to the coast. So we're on the eastern coast of South Africa, in the Garden Route. If you don't know where that is, I think I actually asked you guys to Google it last time as well. If you're from abroad, somewhere in India or New Zealand, Australia, in the States, Google Garden Route South Africa. It's one of the most beautiful spots in the world. It's a long coastal line, various little towns that pops up everywhere. Absolutely gorgeous. Lots of great restaurants and food, beautiful beaches, lots of sunshine. Maybe not today, a little bit of overcast today, but I've no doubt the sun will come through at some stage, as the sun have come through for South Africa in that second ODI. So India, I won't say they're in trouble, but as you know, they lost the Test series and now find themselves 1-1, with Virat Kohli scoring back-to-back hundreds and still only being 1-1 against South Africa. There must be a little bit of concerns there. The last time they lost ODI and Test series, I think it was in 1986-7 against Pakistan. That's a long time ago, guys. I was born in 1984. I think a lot of you listening to the show today might not have been born yet. I know most of my team, or all of my team sitting in Mumbai that help me with these streams, were not born then yet. So it's quite a thing, you know. South Africa winning that second ODI. There's the scorecard, guys. Virat Kohli. Let's just briefly touch on him. I speak often about him, so I don't want to talk about him for too much, but absolutely insane how this guy finds a way to come back. I think his average in ODI is like 58 now. Is that even human? 58.2. There we have it. Strike rate almost at 100. I mean, how's anyone ever going to beat this record? This is incredible. Well done, Virat. And my biscuit, wow. It's pretty special. Not playing a lot these days. I briefly spoke about that quote of his saying that he doesn't really believe in hitting too many balls these days. And it just shows you very, very strong mentally. And it's incredible what you can achieve if you apply your mind to something. Obviously, he's had the years of hitting thousands and thousands of balls. He's without a doubt past that 10,000 hour rule. I don't know if you know about that. Go read that book or Google that if you want to know what I'm talking about. There's a 10,000 hour rule of you mastering something that you're good at, cricket or playing piano, various other things. You've got to spend 10,000 hours to actually really know your game. He's past that, guys, but he's at a phase in his career now where he feels like he doesn't have to hit a lot of balls anymore to go out there and perform. It's more so being fresh mentally, making sure I'm fit to still keep up physically with the opposition and my peers. And he's done all of that, and he's decided, you know what, I just want to be fresh mentally when I'm out there. Don't want to hit a lot of balls, overcomplicate things, think about my technique every single day, which we've been doing for so many years. All batters do that at some phase in their careers. But absolutely incredible, guys. 135, 102, back-to-back hundreds. But big warning sign. Virat scoring 100 and India not winning an ODI. When last has that happened? It doesn't happen often, I can tell you that. So that'll be a bit of a worry going into the next ODI, which starts in, what is that? I think we're pretty close, 22 minutes now. So it's an interesting one. I don't know which team I'm leaning towards. I think the toss might play a bit of a role, but not as much as in that first two ODIs, perhaps. It's in Vizag. We know that's a really good wicket. Maybe India will hope it will take a little bit of turn, but then South Africa's had the answers in the Test matches and the ODIs with regards to that. If the wicket starts turning, starts breaking up, they've had the answers. So I don't know which way India is going to lean towards or what kind of game plan they're going to use, but I do feel South Africa is sniffing an opportunity here, and they will be a very dangerous team today, sniffing the opportunity of history, winning a Test match and ODI series in India, and then the possibility of a T20 still coming up. There's a lot at stake here for India. There's a lot to lose. They'll feel a little bit of pressure today, especially if someone like Virat doesn't go on and score runs. Now, all of a sudden, they'll look around and go, he's been scoring the runs. What now? So I think there will be a lot of emphasis on Virat today from a South African point of view. Let's try and dismiss him. We feel there are some cracks in the armory here. So Let's see what happens in that ODI. It's going to be great to watch. Virat maybe going for 3 in a row. That's also on the table. There's lots to look forward to. And let's hope it's a fantastic ODI into the ODI series, which has been great. 2 back-to-back 300-plus scores from both the teams. It's been phenomenal. India toss win. All right. If you guys can let me know. Oh, they chose to field. Interesting. It's not a surprise, really, because South Africa's chases have been, that first one they probably could have won. The second one they did cross the line, where it looked incredibly unlikely. And I spoke about it in the 360 show in the week, where in India, when you're batting first, I've always felt like I was almost too aggressive at times, because you just have no idea what a good score will be like. That back end of the innings, it's very difficult to defend in the second innings, especially at the back end, the last 10 to 20 overs. And I think that's maybe the thinking with India here. Send South Africa into bat. They haven't batted first in the ODI series yet. And give them that feeling of not knowing what a good score will be like. And then we can go and chase it down and have a structure in place. And that's also where Virat's at his best, right, in big chases. Guys, before I go on, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for joining on this beautiful Saturday morning, 6th of December. Let's move on to the Ashes. It's on the television screen. I can see it in the corner of my eye. I don't know if Australia's been dismissed yet. I saw the dismissal of Mitch Starc. The TV is a little bit far away from me, so maybe we can update that. But what an incredible test series it's been so far. There it is, 334 play, 378. That needs to be updated. I think the lead is a bit bigger now. I saw Ben Stokes taking a catch and his teammate tripping him, who almost fell on his nose. It was quite funny, but Australia definitely grabbing hold of the momentum. And this has been a trend in world cricket, right? Grabbing the momentum with the tail enders. Mitch Starc scoring some runs. He batted a bit with Alex Carey. And then some of the other tail enders also chipping in and really sort of giving the momentum to Australia. The game was 100% in the balance last night when I went to bed. And I couldn't believe it when I turned the telly on this morning that Aussie was still batting. So, yes, England find themselves 1-0 down and once again losing the momentum at the wrong time in the second test match. It's a day-night test match at the Gabba. If you haven't watched any of it, guys, put it on. It happens faster than normal test match cricket, in my opinion, and it's been a great watch. What about how Mitch Starc is playing currently in the second match of the Ashes? Phenomenal with the ball in hand. Guys, I don't know, taking the leadership role because of Hazelwood and Cummins not being there. I've never really seen Starkey as that. I've always seen him as an X-factor bowler, but not as consistent maybe as some of the other bowlers like Hazelwood, who's always just there, similar to McGrath, who it's almost always been that kind of bowler to lead an attack. Starkey is a bit more quick through the air. He loses control sometimes. He's got this big in-swinger. I've never seen him with his personality as being a leader of a bowling attack, but he's got his opportunity here, and he's done it before, obviously, as well, because Cummins and Hazelwood were not always there, but prior to that, it was Mitch Johnson and a few others. But he's really taken that on incredibly well, that role. In that first test match, really being the one to turn to, getting 10 for, and here, once again, getting 6 in that first innings, and he's always been someone to be able to sort of chip in with a bat, and he's done that exceptionally well, really giving Australia, I think that's the difference, guys. Australia get rolled here for 350, 360, 370 odd. The game is in the balance, but now all of a sudden that leads 100 plus thanks to Mitch Starc. What a wonderful, the lead's 162 now. I've just been updated. Really, really incredible. 49649. That never looked on the cards when I went to bed last night. I thought it's going to be like a 40 to 50 run lead. All right, the Marvel Zone, you're back. Thanks for joining us. AB Joe Root is 40 test centuries now. How incredible is that? He walked in at 5 for 2 and still hit a brilliant century. By the way, do you agree with Hayden might be the happiest after that knock? Matthew Hayden, I'm not sure who that is. I think you're talking about Hayden. Maybe Hayden's been giving, I don't know about this, guy. So maybe update me, please. Keep commenting and I'll give you my thoughts on that. But maybe Matthew Hayden said something bad, or he's a big fan. I think he was calling out for Root to score 100 in Australia, if I'm not mistaken. I'll just wait for the update. Oh my goodness, he offered to streak naked at the MCG if Root didn't score 100. Okay, yeah, fair enough. And look, it was a safe bet. And Root's celebration, he just went like what's all the fuss about, guys? I was always going to score 100 in this series. Look, the Ashes is 5 test matches, right? So if you don't score 100 in 10 innings, you will be labeled as someone being completely out of form. So the odds were there, guys. This guy's averaging almost 52, 13,000+ test runs. Yeah, I mean, 40 test centuries now. The odds were obviously stacked up for Ados. So congrats to Joe Root. Guys, I've always been a big fan. And I think the biggest decision and the best decision that he's made is to focus more on Test cricket. And that happened about, 5 to 6 years ago, where he was rested in a lot of white ball stuff back then. And it was clearly decided that Test cricket is going to be the one that he's got to put all the emphasis and energy into. And that journey is different for every player. We see with Virat now, he's let Test cricket go again and focus more on the white ball stuff. So for the greats of the game, that journey is different for each player. It wasn't quite the same with me, as I wasn't really allowed to pick and choose like that. Maybe I was, and I was just too sensitive to the media back then. It was a very tricky phase in my career. But for these two players, really good decisions before Virat and Joe to really sort of just get your understanding. Listen, this is where I'm at mentally right now. This is all I can give. I can't do 3 formats anymore. Play every single game, home and away, and all the World Cups. There's so much cricket happening. And then IPL on top of that, guys. It's really difficult to manage. But I think Virat's done that incredibly well, focusing more on the white ball stuff now, Root more on the test match scene. And that journey is different for every player. And it's just nice to see that cricket boards around the world are allowing players to do that. And sort of that communication is open between the boards and the players to go, how are we going to lengthen my career as much as possible? The board would go, Joe, we want you to be around for another 20 years if it's possible. How are we going to achieve the max kind of time out of you as a player? And Root would say, I think it's Test cricket. For me, yes, I'm still available here and there for an ODI or a T20, whatever the case may be. But let's make my first pick Test cricket. Let's dot down the most important test matches. How am I going to be fresh for all of them? And so it's nice to see. And same with Virat. He looks happy out there playing ODIs. And I'm looking forward to watch him go and play World Cups. And that's going to lengthen his career. And that's ultimately what you want from your greats and the legends in England and in Australia and in India. And that's what they've managed to do so well. So thanks for that, guys. There's something that I want to talk about, and that is, there we go, the Windies and New Zealand. That's what I wanted to bring up. I actually almost fell over when I saw, first of all, it was a draw. And then secondly, that my graphics team are having a hard time. We'll come to the schedule now, guys. I want to talk about the Windies quickly. That's better. Get the alien on. You guys are maybe still too young, inexperienced, right? We spoke about it earlier. I was around in 86, 87 when India lost the ODI and Test series against Pakistan. I was born at least. You guys are still very young. I'm talking to my team in Mumbai now, or wherever you guys are. I think some of you might be in Mumbai, not all of you. Anyway, the Windies, guys, it was a draw. I absolutely could not believe it. I watched the first 2 wickets. I think they were, 20 for 2 or maybe 3 even. I can't remember, maybe 20 for 2. I remember a couple of lefties sneaking off. I switched the TV off and I had some other things to do. I turned it on this morning and I saw the test match as a draw. And I was like, what happened? And not only that, they almost went on to win that test match, the West Indies. Remember, I called out for a good test series between West Indies and New Zealand in the week, asking for not only the big three to have this incredible test match series happening, but for South Africa to go to India and make it exciting, for the West Indies to travel to New Zealand, for Sri Lanka and Pakistan, everyone come to the party, and having this WC tournament where it's edge of your seat kind of stuff, where you can't keep your eyes off of it. And look at that, guys, 457 for 6, chasing 500 plus in that final innings, almost making it work. And well done to New Zealand for making that total quite high. I think they took a lot of criticism from the commentators saying, why don't you just go on and declare, go and win the test match, is over, man. And it would have been easy for them to declare with like a 450 lead. It wouldn't have been enough. It's incredible where test cricket is going to, where you don't know anymore what's going to be enough. We saw South Africa with that declaration as well, 550 plus against India, but it ended up being the right decision from Themba Bavuma and the team. So double 100 and 100 from Shy Hope as well, double 100 from Greaves. I don't even know him as well. To go on to New Zealand to score double 100, you must be one incredible player. So congrats to these two teams for a very exciting test match, and which will turn into a fantastic test series. West Indies have a lot to fight for now. It was all looking doom and gloom, lots of criticism, lots of noise everywhere. Even I turned the telly off and I was like, it's so disappointing from their batters. They always find a way to get into the game, and the batters just always collapse. In that first innings, 231, I thought, here we go. The Windies are going to make an incredible test match of this, 167 all out. I'm like, come on, guys. And then New Zealand going on 466 declare. And it just looked doom and gloom for them. But what a great fight back. And maybe this will be the time for the West Indies cricket team to turn things around and to make cricket exciting again for them as a nation, and for obviously the lower tier teams. I don't know if I can call it that, as we have some of the low, you know what I mean, the teams that play less test match cricket. And I sort of try to explain that in the show as well. I by no means mean they're weaker teams. I just mean they're less in the spotlight and in the limelight compared to Australia and England and India. All right. Let's talk a bit about South African cricket then. All the best to those two nations. West Indies and New Zealand for that next test match we'll be watching. All right, South Africans are known for their magnificent power hitting ability. Oh, really? Intent and speed. Is it something to do with early exposure to rugby and hockey? Please elaborate. It's definitely got something to do with the South African way of living. Lots of sports. We hardly ever sit on our couches. We have wonderful weather over here in South Africa, or most parts of South Africa. Not so much Cape Town and the Western Cape, I would say. But the rest of South Africa, where I'm from, Pretoria, it's pretty much a sunny city. And if you don't play sports, there's almost something wrong with you growing up. So I just remember getting a tennis racket in the hand at the age of 3, I think. My first birthday that I can remember, I got a little golf club, a 9-iron, and 3 golf balls. And my dad said, go, I don't want to see you. So that's almost like the mentality in South Africa. I'm sitting on the beach. It's full of kids just playing cricket everywhere. And everywhere you go in South Africa, there's just this deep desire to want to be active and be outdoors and want to play sports. And that is a beautiful thing of growing up in SA. And that's why we're so privileged to grow up in this beautiful rainbow nation. So coming back to your question, it's maybe something in the pap. Pap, for those of you who don't know, it's called cereal. In South Africa, we refer to it as pap. So that's something you eat in the mornings. And maybe there's something in our cereal that just makes South Africans want to be outdoors. And some of our rugby players are as big as houses. I don't know. I didn't get the same cereal than them. That's for sure. I'm 1'8" and definitely not a bigger unit, but I'm quite fast around the ground. So maybe I don't have to sort of sit back to the rugby players and say you are bigger, and I'm going to stand back and not compete. Like, throughout my career, I competed against very big fast bowlers. So I've always I've got accustomed to understanding how it is, or what it feels like to compete against physically bigger people. But yeah, I won't say everyone in South Africa is big and fast, but we have definitely that intent. They don't know what we know, right? Hulle weet nie wat ons weet nie. If you're South African, you know what I'm talking about. But it's definitely got something to do with our upbringing, the kind of mentality of being outdoors and being active all the time. There's no doubt about it. And our school system, I have to refer to our school system, which is unbelievably strong from a rugby point of view, cricket. And also when you're going to university, there are some incredible leagues that happen at school level. And it's fierce and competitive and of a very, very high quality. And lots of credit's got to go to whoever is in control of getting the school system so strong. It's definitely part of the reason why South Africans are so active and good at sports. All right, let's go on to RCB. It's a super fan question. Thank you so much, Sri Hari, for being a super fan. Tomorrow, I'm representing RCB in mock auction at Ash Anna's Karambol organization. Suggest me 2 overseas who can be in RCB. 2 overseas who can. Okay, it's difficult to put names. And I haven't really had a deep dive look at who will be in the pool at the auction. But I do feel RCB needs a backup bowler for Josh Hazelwood, as he's not currently playing this test series. And I'm a bit worried about him not playing all the games at the IPL. We know how incredibly important he is, and I've got a feeling Andy Flower has got a game plan of not playing him all the games at the IPL. And if that is the game plan moving forward, because it's important to have him available for the most important games, then we will need a very big and a good backup fast bowler for Hazelwood. So we'll see if Andy Flower and his team gets a fast bowler at the auction. And then I'm not sure, maybe a bit of a backup in that middle batting lineup. In the middle part of the batting lineup. I don't know what I'm talking about. Finishing role. I think that's always an area alongside guys like a Krunal Pandya. So and maybe another all-rounder along with a fast bowler. I can't put names to the fore, but I think that'll be the thinking, guys. All right, let's move on to the next one. See, it will be on Ashwin's channel, guys. So that's what he was talking about. I didn't actually know what he was talking about, but now I have a better understanding. Ravi Ashwin has got a channel on YouTube, so go follow him, and that'll be a mock auction, which is a very cool idea, by the way. I'm actually quite envious of him. It's a fantastic idea, so I'll keep an eye out on that, and perhaps we can copy something like that in the future, or collab, do something together, and maybe I can sort of form part of that mock-up auction. I think it'll be a lot of fun. All right, super fan question about Virat. I see here. Do you think Virat can hit 100 hundreds with 30 matches left? Never say never with Virat, right? He's definitely pushing on. So many hundreds. I mean, and most of them memorable hundreds. He's the one Indian cricket player that's gone abroad and touring away from home and said, I'm not scared of anything away from home. And in India, we know all Indian batters will be good and accustomed to the conditions, but Virat is the one Indian player, maybe alongside Sachin to a certain extent, but Virat, the way he's toured across the world, everywhere, England, Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, he's the one Indian player that's gone, you know what, I'm not scared of any of these things. They can say what they want, that Indian players can't bat in South Africa or in England or in Australia. Their records are not as good. Virat's the one player that I always felt like he's come to war with you in your own country, and he's never stood back to anyone. So anything is possible with him. I'm really, really happy for him that he's come back after a bit of a break and started scoring runs straight away. He looks happy, he looks motivated, and that's what we want with Virat Kohli. That's the least he deserves. We want to celebrate an incredible career and someone who's changed the face of cricket forever. Thanks for that. Talking about Virat's always fun, and he's about to take the field. South Africa batting first. So if your tele screens are not on yet, get it on and get the cricket on. It's going to be a wonderful ODI and also some test match cricket between Australia and England. Guys, I'm going to take one or two more and I'm going to leave you today. I've got 3 kiddies staring at me wanting to go to the beach. I've told them Dad has got to be there. My daughter's only 5 years old and she can't go alone yet. So my boys are not very happy with me because they are at an age where they possibly could. But if they go, my daughter starts crying. So they've got to stick together as a team. And maybe that's a bit of a lesson for them. One last question, guys. Yes, I think Virat can get to 100 hundreds. It's unlikely, but never say never with him. Is there one more question or are we going to call it here? Yes, one more. Matthew Breetske. He's shown great talent, even with limited international experience. What qualities? So that last ODI when I watched, I thought, okay, here it is. This is like the innings that's going to put him on the map. Chasing, under pressure, he's got his 50, his 60 odd, and then he went and gave it away. So that'll be a great learning curve. But he showed to me that under pressure, away from home, yes, he's got the talent. I knew that from day one. But the ability to sort of shift gears now. And that is one thing Devil Brevis still needs to learn. They all get in, but do they have the ability to shift gears and to finish games, to be there at the end and to lift your bat and say, I don't have 100, but I crossed the line for my team. So if Breetske and Brevis can manage to do that, double B, B and B, they can manage to do that, they will be there for many, many years to come, and they will win many, many cricket games for South Africa in the future. And that's where I want them. So Breetske showed me in that last innings is capable. He was close, but I really wanted him to box clever there and just to see it through, just to be the guy to be there in the last 5 overs. Unfortunately, left it up to the bowlers, but as we know, the bowlers can hold the bat. But you don't want to often do that. You want to be the player to take it through, to be there at the back end. That's what I aspire to do at the back end of my career, last 10 years of my career. It's one thing being flashy and scoring your 100 and you're all cool, but then you leave the rest of the team to finish the job and cross the line. And I really got disappointed when I did that back in the day, and I decided I can't remember the age or the year, but I just decided enough. Be there, take responsibility. It doesn't mean you have to block, but just read the situation and understand that if a bowler comes in now to bat in your place, it's not going to be easy. Any new batter, even if it's a top order batter, it's not easy to come in on naught, under pressure. You're the one on 70 or 80 that wanted to play a cool shot to maybe get a contract at an IPL or some franchise, or to entertain the crowd. Then your focus is not on the right thing. Your focus should be on, how can I manage to win the game of cricket for my team? What's going to be my role? Is it to hit sixes and look cool, or is it to knock it around for 5 to 10 minutes? To understand that Kuldeep Yadav perhaps is the danger bowler. I can't afford to get out to him now because he might get 2-3 quick wickets after that. I'm in, take responsibility, cross the line. And that's my message to Breedske and Brevis, because they very often get in because they're highly talented individuals and they're going to win a lot of games for South Africa. But manage to find a way to read the situation, shift gears when you need to, take it a bit deeper, and then go again. That's my 5 cents. So great talent, Breedske. I love watching him play. And I don't think he's far away from cracking that code. Brevis may be a bit further away, still got a lot to learn with regards to changing of gears. All right, enough of that. Thanks, guys, for joining me on the 360 show. One more, the importance of balance. You can throw it out there. Last one, importance of balance in life and the need for education alongside sports. Absolutely crucial. I think when you're younger, you can still afford to sort of just, what's the word I'm looking for? Just like really emphasize cricket and make it the most important, prioritize cricket, because you still need to do the 10,000 hours that I spoke about earlier. But once you get there, it's all about balancing out your life and prioritizing different things. Cricket is important, but it's not everything in life. Education is important. Family is important. Friends, switching off and doing something different. Hobbies, playing a bit of guitar perhaps. So that is something that's incredibly important and something that I focused on a lot throughout my career to manage the right balance. Guys, that's all for the 360 Live today. I'm off to the beach. I hope wherever you are in the world, you have a fantastic Saturday. Enjoy the cricket on the TV. Follow me in socials as per usual. Like, share, and subscribe to the show. And I will be seeing you guys next week. Have a fantastic weekend. Bye now.